Thanks for watching Numbskull News. And the Ides of March are upon the Pac-12. Colorado is having special sessions. Utah is having substantive talks with the Big 12. Oregon State and Washington State are shitting all over themselves, holding on for your dear life, trying to make this thing stick together. And Oregon and Washington are building a cartel border tunnel, trying to get to the Big 10. And of course, Stanford and Cal are just rolling around like pigs in shit in their term papers, talking about all their great academics. So apparently, Arizona State is having some cold feet. They're not sure. They want to wait around. I don't know what for. Do you want a front row seat just to watch Oregon and Washington go to the Big Ten? Is that the thing? Or do you want to see them get unequal revenue share, and make way more money than you while you sit there, and you could just go to the Big 12 and make a decent amount of money and exposure, yada, yada, yada. It doesn't. I understand, that they love being in the Pac-12. That's what they identify as. They've been there forever. Sometimes things change, and this is a changing landscape. You got to get with the times, baby. Let's go. Dennis Dodd puts out a new article. Another negative article on the Pac-12. I mean, there's not a lot of positive news. Pac-12 had that little meeting, before their conference tournament, and apparently no numbers were talked about. No numbers on a TV deal. I mean, we're damn near mid-March, right? So, come on. And no numbers were discussed? That's got to be rather disheartening. So, of course, Dennis Dodd, it's his job to talk about these things. And that's what he did. And here comes Mark Harlan, AD from Utah, yet again on social media. I don't understand. If you can't do social media right, why are you on it? Give me a break, right? Give me a break. Why don't you give us a break? I mean, I don't know. Maybe as a Big 12 fan, I'm used to our ADs being professional. If there's something negative to be written, they know it's going to happen. And maybe he's getting frustrated. Well, you know what? Don't take it out on Dennis Dodd. Don't take it out on John Kurtz. Why don't you call up your worthless commissioner, George Kliavkoff, and ask him, hey, I'm a little tired of hearing this crap. Where's our TV deal? And whether Utah goes to the Big 12 or not, it's not Mark Harlan's decision. All right, there's people above him. That decision is well above his pay grade, okay? So why are you speaking on it? Just shut up. It's really simple. You could do like the Arizona State AD did. If you want to make a little something up, I think we'll probably get enough money and we'll be okay. I don't know why there has to be so much smoke. Well, there's so much smoke because there's a lot of fire. Now, the smoke isn't just coming from nowhere. The Pac-12 is basically that town in Pennsylvania that's been burning forever, right? Those coal tunnels underneath the town, they're just on fire, and they're going to be on fire for the next 200 years. That's the Pac-12. So all you got to do is dig down a little bit. You're going to find all the fire you want. And nothing really got reported out of that special session out of Colorado, but it ain't good. I mean, you got to. They're talking about the Pac-12. They're talking like, okay, where is this TV deal? Where is it going to go? Where are we going to be? We're not getting any kind of information here. And I bet your ass if anyone talks to Deion Sanders, he's like, hey, man, get my program, get my kids. We need to get to the Big 12. This man lives in Big 12 country, Dallas, Fort Worth. All right, we share a city together. And I've really turned around on Deion. When I was a kid, man, I hated it when the Dallas Cowboys got Deion. Hated it. It seemed like he was just a damn mercenary, a hired gun, and I hated that crap. Like, oh, he's not an original Cowboy. Well, the dude is a Texan now. All right, he could live anywhere. He chose to call Dallas-Fort Worth home, and he's a part of my community, been a part of my community now for decades, and I love the guy. I love what he did in Jackson State. I thought maybe it might be just a Deion Sanders sideshow, a little pat myself on the back kind of thing, but no. I think he genuinely cares about his kids that come and play for him. And yeah, he's always been about the hype, but he's always been about building his brand. And now he's showing kids how to build their brand. and develop some kind of generational wealth for their family and for the kids they have in the future, and changing the direction of their family. It's big stuff this man's doing. He's doing more good, whether that's in the black community or any community, than most people in politics will ever think about doing. So yeah, I like the guy. And yeah, he is about hype, but sometimes you need the hype. You can use hype for positive, for good. And he feels that he's been called by God himself to do this for kids and to be a positive role model for kids and show them how to do this thing. I'm buying into it. I like it. And yes, I think Colorado is coming back home to the Big 12, especially if they bother to ask Deion. But now, apparently, according to recent reports or whatever, depending on who you read, now the Pac-12 is the big villain. We're the villain now. Oh, okay. Brett Yarmark is Darth Vader. Okay. Let me see if I get this right. We're the big villain, but yet it was the Pac-12 that took Colorado from the Big 12. It was the SEC that took, Oklahoma, Texas, A&M before that, Missouri. The Big Ten took Nebraska. We're the most picked apart conference ever. All right. So now we finally got solidified, added some quality teams. We're on the come up, and now we're the bad guy. Wasn't the Pac-12 recently, just, dare I say, a year and a half ago, fully capable of taking whatever they wanted out of the Big 12 and basically killing off that conference? Yeah, they didn't do it. It's not our fault. And it's not our fault you can't get a TV deal. It's not like Brett Yarmark is calling up Amazon, hey, only take one game. It's not like he's calling up ESPN and telling them, hey, don't put money into that shit. Don't do it. He's not doing that. He didn't call CBS and tell them to pull out. He didn't call Fox and tell them to pull out. He didn't do that. The reason you can't find a TV deal because the Big Ten and the SEC absorb so much money out of the market, there's not enough for 5 Power 5 conferences anymore. There's going to be 4. And that's it. Whatever's left of the Pac-12, it's basically going to be a glorified Group of 5 conference. That's what it's going to be. And that's if it doesn't just outright merge with the Mountain West one day. Once Oregon and Washington are gone, once Stanford and Cal decide, if they want to play sports anymore, we'll figure that out then. But yes, there are schools that are going to look after themselves and their student athletes. All this talk about academics, no one's talking about the student athlete, most of which will never get to the NFL, will never get to the NBA or Major League Baseball or the women's NBA or any of that shit. They're going to be normal people out there that once played college ball. That's who they're going to be. So you want to try to give those kids every opportunity in the world, not just to advance their career and get to the pro sports level, but have the best experience possible while they're in college and get the best education possible so they can have the best possible life outside of school. That's what it's about. So part of having the best experience, all right, is playing in a conference that will promote you, that you can be seen everywhere, nationwide, all the time. The Pac-12 will no longer be able to offer that. And yes, the Big 12 is a great launching pad into life, regardless of what school you play for. And Utah is a great school. Arizona and Arizona State are great schools. Colorado is a great school. So are all the schools in the Big 12. And speaking of Arizona, I'm telling you, they got a spring in their ass. They're about ready to jump straight to the Big 12. And it's about time. They should. And you could ask the question, hey, man, when is this stuff going to happen? As I said, it's the Ides of March. This is the death throes of the Pac-12. Once we get past the tournament, Gonzaga is in. That's a sure thing. That's a lock. That's the safest bet ever. But each one of these teams, they got to work out. We're coming in on a full share. How's that look like? Brett Yarmark, I'm sure he's been spending the last few months lining that up. making sure that Fox is going to come in, give you money for Gonzaga, give you money for Utah, Colorado, Arizona State, whomever they want. As I, they're not contractually bound to do so like ESPN is, but you have to go to them first and say, hey, will you give us the money for a full share to bring in Arizona, to bring in Utah, or bring in Colorado and Arizona State? So these things take a little bit of time. Not George Kliavkoff kind of time. It didn't take 8 months of figuring out contracts and figuring out how the money's going to work. Doesn't take that long. All right, but it takes a little bit of time to get those things sorted out. And so right now it's all about, getting the I's dotted, the T's crossed, and, make sure everybody's on full understanding of what they're getting into when they come into the Big 12. And I don't think Brett Yormark or anyone else really wants to take attention away from the tournament. By the way, the Big 12, the Big 12 is dominant in the tournament. I mean, we got, damn near the whole conference in the damn thing. Not to mention the 2-time defending national champion Kansas in there. So, no, I don't think Yormark at all wants to take attention away from his schools and the 4 schools coming in next year. He didn't want to take any attention away from those guys. Let them go. Let them have their due. After the tournament, let's come back out here and let's go full bore. Now, behind the scenes, no. Brett Yormark is busy. He's busy. He's got 4 schools he's talking to. Plus, he's still talking to Gonzaga, making sure, making sure everything's good up there because you're coming in. So as far as the Pac-12 goes, enjoy the tournament. Enjoy the tournament. It's going to be the last one that looks like this for y'all. It's going to be the last one. And we should all enjoy the tournament, especially Big 12 fans. Damn. Damn. We're going to own this bitch. It's going to be a good time. Anyway, that's all I got on this crap. I'll be back with something else later. Bye.